Let me give more examples of how Jihad and Sharia influenced Pakistan's evolution. In 1962, the government of Pakistan established Council of Islamic Ideology to ensure and to monitor that the laws are governed by Sharia and that no laws are in violation of the Sharia laws. Jihad was emphasized in high school and middle school curriculum. The guidelines prepared for teachers in grade 6 and 7 suggested that students should develop aspiration for jihad. The government approved textbook for 8th grade tells the students to sacrifice every precious thing, including life, for jihad. That is the violent jihad waged on unbelievers. Faith, piety, and holy war, or jihad in the name of Allah, became the motto of Pakistani army. In 1971, the Pakistani Army High Command sent its soldiers to East Pakistan to put down an insurrection. Verbal as well as written orders were issued to the army by the High Command that instructed them to kill infidel Hindus in the East Pakistan. As a result, over 1 million innocent Hindu children, women and men were butchered by the Pakistani army. Again, justified using the Islamic concept of jihad. Jihad again plays a major role in defining Pakistan's relations with India. Pakistani army recently was issued a document which asserts that by 2020 the Indian city of Mumbai will become Muslimabad and that North India will be conquered for Islam and attached to Pakistan. Toward achieving these insidious objectives, Pakistan has set up well over 800 terror cells in Muslim communities all over India. According to Indian intelligence, about 9,000 Muslim religious schools have been set up in India, in which Indian Muslim children are taught to hate Hindus, and they have been told that they cannot coexist with Hindu majority in India, and that they should wage jihad to liberate themselves from Indian oppression. By contrast, India has little or no expansionist designs over Pakistan. One of the most pressing questions in Washington and other world capitals is how Pakistan can be weaned away from backwardness and its sponsorship of jihad and terror. It is said that perhaps by infusing billions of economic assistance, Pakistan can be moderated in some way. However, the results of a survey conducted recently by a Washington think tank suggest that these assumptions may not be valid after all. The study suggests that, I quote them, better economic conditions may be associated with greater support for Islamic militancy in Pakistan, unquote. Of interest is how expatriate Pakistanis are doing, especially in developed nations. Britain has a very large expatriate Muslim community from Pakistan who started arriving in Britain in the 1950s to work in textile and in other blue-collar jobs. At about the same time, Hindus also immigrated in large numbers to Great Britain from India. It's very pertaining to study once again the evolution of these two communities in an advanced nation such as Britain. 50 to 60 years later, the Hindu and Muslim communities of Indian and Pakistani origin in Britain have again evolved very differently. The ethnic Hindus have income and education levels comparable or even exceeding many of the majority whites, while the ethnic Pakistanis have fallen behind in both education and in income levels. Ethnic Pakistanis in Britain, there are 6 times more likely to be found in prison than ethnic Hindus in Britain. The embrace of Sharia, the Islamic law, among young British Muslims of Pakistani origin between the ages of 19 and 26 stands about 40%. That is 40% of these young British ethnic Pakistanis and other Muslims apparently are in favor of Sharia law in modern and developed Britain. Pakistani Muslims are also participated in terror attacks in Britain. 3 of the 4 bombers in the 7 attacks in London are of ethnic Pakistani origin. What this all shows is that both in Pakistan and even in Britain, features of Islam, that is Sharia and Jihad, are able to overwhelm modernism under varying conditions. It's of interest to find out how the Islamic doctrines, the Quran, Hadith and Sirah, have made Jihad and Sharia as dominant features of Islam. This is the focus of next 2 lectures. In the 4th lecture, I will talk about grand strategy toward winning the war on terror. For more detailed and fascinating analysis, as well as extensive references, I urge you to order my book, Defeating Political Islam, The New Cold War. Thank you.